UNCN today.
Hey, welcome back. Hope you're having a great morning. I know we've been talking about, I'm Mike Gonzalez, by the way, in for Phil Sanchez.
Yeah, and I'm Emily Parker. The reason why I'm laughing and crying at the same time is because we just found out that it's not butt nugget, it's butte nugget.
Yeah, you know.
Butte nugget, that story we're talking about
There's
earlier.
some parallels there, perhaps.
I'm sorry.
There it is.
There it is. All right, Alyssa, how's the weather?
We're
Let's
all
go on.
human.
Let's
We
move
love
on.
it. Let's go ahead and talk about the forecast. You're heading out the door, the congestion later on in the morning, but right now, everything appears to be moving smoothly. Mike?
All right, Alyssa, sounds great. Thanks so much. This morning, more questions remain after an independent investigator released his findings about the academic scandal involving student athletes at UNC. Kenneth Weinstein, he went through years of records as well as millions of documents. He found that no-show classes, they lasted 18 years. They involved 3,100 students. Student athletes accounted for nearly half of those enrollments. And Weinstein found it all started with Deborah Crowder, the administrator of the Department of African and Afro-American Studies. He says that Crowder graded papers instead of the professors. When counselors for the football team found out that she was retiring, they went so far as to alert coaching staffs that grades would actually fall without her help. At that point, the chair of the department was persuaded into continuing the no-show classes.
What really surprised me was that you had an office administrator in one department is able to come up with this scheme, implement it, and then it lasted for 19 years before it was detected.
Crowder did not face any criminal charges. The report also essentially said that members of the athletic department knew there were red flags, but never raised specific concerns about them.
So this morning, many want to know what's next for the university and how it plans to repair its reputation. Our Steve Sprasia has been tracking this all morning long. Steve, good morning.
Good morning. You know, after the Weinstein report became part of the public record, the school's chancellor issued an apology.
It's in our top stories section.
Other news this morning, we now know the name of the man killed in a small plane crash in Durham County. The sheriff's office says that Michael John Ratty of Chapel Hill died when the plane went down in an old city park in Bahama on Tuesday. Another person was injured and taken to the hospital. Their Beech 95 aircraft that took off from Lake Ridge Aero Park. That's about 7 miles from the crash site. The FAA is currently investigating. 2 people are recovering after a car crashed into a chiropractor's office. Take a look at this. It happened on Roxborough Street in Durham yesterday. Police say the driver of the car lost control, drove right into that building. That driver and an employee inside the office were taken to the hospital with minor injuries, fortunately. A fire at a Cary home forced 4 people to find another place to stay last night. Flames broke out at the home on Pond Street. Everyone did make it out safely. Fire crews say there is significant damage to the second floor of that home, and firefighters are still trying to figure out what caused the fire.
All right, today you can get in for free at the fair. All you need to do is bring in 5 canned foods with the Food Lion brand. Hunger Relief Day at the fair will help all 7 food banks across the state. Last year, fairgoers donated more than 243,000 pounds of food, and that equals to more than 204,000 meals. Great stuff. You can see a complete list of events and schedules of this year's state fair, as well as a map of the vendors and rides right now on WNCN.com. It's in our Don't Miss It section under Fall Fun. So if you've been holding out all week, today is the day to go, Mike.
Oh, it sure is. I mean, it's a win-win.
It is.
Donate to the food bank, get in free, and then you yourself can just gorge at the fair. That's what I love about the fair, certainly. It's so much fun.
Food.
All right. Well, the time is 6:07. Thanks for waking up with WNCN today. I'm Mike Gonzalez. The Prime Minister says Canada will never be intimidated after what he calls a second act of terrorism. He also vows tighter security measures after a second soldier is killed this week.
Still to come, what happened in the latest round of violence and how the rampage finally ended. Alyssa?
Well, we're looking at a cool morning here in central North Carolina. Good morning, Cary, Morrisville. You're right around 49 degrees. Grab the jacket as you approach the door. I'll have your forecast before you head out in just a moment.
Back in this morning's top stories, UNC Chapel Hill's Chancellor Carol Folt says the school has fired or begun disciplinary procedures against 9 employees in the aftermath of a probe of a past academic fraud scandal. Former U.S. Department